Hi guys, it's April 12th and I know it's been quite a while since I've talked to you. A few months actually has gone by and I'm aware of that. I've been going through quite a lot in my life, a lot of changes. Some I see as good and some I wonder why, of course, just like anybody else. So it's been a rough road for me the last few months. And unfortunately, I allowed that to get in the way of doing these videos because, quite honestly, I felt like I was on a roller coaster. I didn't really feel like I could help someone when in reality I should have just recorded my experience because, just as always, God is working things out for me. So I wish I would have recorded a lot of what was happening during that time frame, but I will make videos to explain what has been going on the last few months of my life and where I'm at now, and just documenting the journey that God is taking me on. None of it really was something that I expected, of course, and not planned. Which, if you know me, you know if it's not planned and if I'm not in control of it, I kind of become fearful or worried. What is the end result? Where are we going? But God is just trying to expand a level of trust and faith in Him within me, and I know that, but it doesn't change the fact that in my human self, I still feel scared or fearful or wondering what's going on, or I still have that still small voice inside of me saying, hey, God's got you. But sometimes the human voice is much louder. So over the last few months, that human voice was very loud to me and still is sometimes. So I didn't record for a while because I was just wrapped up in my life. But my best friend and my daughter have really encouraged me to get back into making these videos. I just didn't feel like I could be of help to anyone, and my daughter said, Mom, I just like seeing you on the videos. It's like you're talking to me. It's like we're just having a conversation, and they really do help me. So I'm really doing it for them. I know that this is something. Sorry. Talking about God is something that I've always had a desire in my heart to do. But as I've been going through therapy and things like that and learning about my core beliefs, one of my core beliefs is just that I will never be enough. And because of that belief that I know is a lie, but I have accepted my whole life, it has detoured me sometimes from pursuing the things, the desires of my heart. So I'm working through that, but I'm being raw and real and vulnerable with you to just let you know where I'm at in life. I do believe in God. I do believe in His power. But I still need help with the unbelief sometimes. And God is walking me through this right now. So, as He walks me through it, I'm just going to be a real person sharing my experience. I did get on here. God has still continually over these last few months still been speaking to my heart about different things, and I have a journal that I've been trying to keep things in that he has given to me, to just share it with whoever it might help. And I'm sure that we will get to them in the right time. I know God knows me better than I know myself. So I'm sure that he knew all of this was going to happen. He knows my personality. He knew that I was going to check out for a little bit, but he also knew that I was going to come back to it. And he gave me the strength to try to take some notes about things that he was trying to talk me through. So I want to get back to this, and I want to get back to just documenting my story and to just documenting what I feel God gives to me, what encouragement he gives to me, what truths he gives to me, how he helps challenge me to face things that maybe I've accepted as truth and it's actually a lie. I feel like his love just surrounds us in all different types of ways, and I just want to show or share my story on how God works with me to help bring things to light that maybe I don't understand or I didn't know at the time, and how he opens my understanding to things. Sometimes it doesn't always feel good, but he opens our minds to things to help us understand and move us to the next level of faith, or the next level of trust, the next level of understanding of who he is. And that's what I hope that people will see through these videos, is just I'm a normal everyday person going through normal everyday stuff and having immense, sometimes intense emotions about something. But God never leaves me. He never fails me, and he loves me just as I am right now. And he continues to take me step by step, revealing things sometimes that I don't like about myself, or revealing things that I didn't even know was in my life, and helping me overcome by his power, by his grace, by his strength, not my own. So with all of that said, I did want to go through one thing that he showed me recently, and I read the 11th chapter of John. So John chapter 11, it talks about Lazarus dying and Jesus resurrecting him. And I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to read it, and then I just wanted to talk about what I got out of it to hopefully maybe help you. I'm going to look down because I'm going to read the verses, and then I'll go through what I wrote down, what I got out of it, and maybe it will encourage you. So John chapter 11 says, "Now a man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. This Mary, whose brother Lazarus now lay sick, was the same one who poured perfume on the Lord and wiped his feet with her hair. So the sisters sent word to Jesus, 'Lord, the one you love is sick.' When he heard this, Jesus said, 'This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it.' Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. So when he heard that Lazarus was sick, he stayed where he was 2 more days. And then he said to his disciples, 'Let us go back to Judea.' 'But Rabbi,' they said, 'a short while ago the Jews there tried to stone you, and yet you're going back?' Jesus answered, 'Are there not 12 hours of daylight? Anyone who walks in the daytime will not stumble, for they see by the world's light. It is when a person walks at night that they stumble, for they have no light." After he had said this, he went on to tell them, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but I'm going there to wake him up." His disciples replied, "Lord, if he sleeps, he will get better." Jesus had been speaking of his death, but his disciples thought he meant natural sleep. So then he told them plainly, "Lazarus is dead, and for your sake I am glad I am not there, so that you may believe. But let us go to him." Then Thomas, also known as Didymus, said to the rest of the disciples, "Let us go, that we may die with him." On his arrival, Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethany was less than 2 miles from Jerusalem, and many Jews had come to Martha and Mary to comfort them in their loss of their brother. When Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went out to meet him, but Mary stayed at home. "Lord," Martha said to Jesus, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But I know that even now God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha answered, "I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this?" "Yes, Lord," she replied. "I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, who has come into the world." After she had said this, she went back and called her sister Mary aside. "The teacher is here," she said, "and is asking for you." When Mary heard this, she got up quickly and went to him. Now Jesus had not yet entered the village, but was still at the place where Martha had met him. When the Jews who had been with Mary in the house, comforting her, noticed how quickly she got up and went out, they followed her, supposing she was going to the tomb to mourn there. When Mary reached the place where Jesus was and saw him, she fell at his feet and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who had come along with her also weeping, he was deeply moved in spirit and troubled. "Where have you laid him?" he asked. "Come and see, Lord," they replied. Jesus wept. Then the Jews said, "See how he loved him?" But some of them said, Could not he who opened the eyes of the blind man have kept this man from dying?" Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. "Take away the stone," he said. "But Lord," said Martha, the sister of the dead man, "by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days." Then Jesus said, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me." When he said this, Jesus called in a loud voice, "Lazarus, come out." The dead man came out, his hands and feet wrapped with strips of linen and a cloth around his face. Jesus said to them, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." I read this and these are the notes I took, so I hope that it helps you. In this, John chapter 11, Lazarus fell sick and ended up dying. Jesus knew that he was sick, but he waited an additional 2 days where he was before returning to see Lazarus. This is significant because by the time Jesus got there, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And in Jewish tradition, the soul hovered over the body for 3 days. And on the 4th day, the soul left because decay started to set into the body and death was irrevocable at that point. That was Jewish tradition. 3 days, the soul hovered over the body. On the 4th day, the soul left the body completely, and the body started to decay, and death was irrevocable. So in the minds of the Jews, Mary and Martha, Lazarus' death was irrevocable. There was nothing that could have been done because the 4th day had come. That was their belief. That was their truth. That was a core belief in their mind, was that 3 days the soul hovered over the body, and on the 4th day the soul left, the body decayed, and death was irrevocable. That was their core belief. So you have to understand that when you're coming upon this scene, that you would understand when Jesus comes on the 4th day, why Mary and Martha both exclaims to him, if you had been here, this wouldn't have happened. If you had been here, he wouldn't be dead. Of course, they loved their brother, and they knew Jesus loved Lazarus. And even when Jesus asked Martha, or said to Martha, your brother will rise again, she still, because she had that core belief of 4 days and you can't take it back. 4 days and it's irrevocable. 4 days and death is death. Her response was, I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. So instead of when Jesus said, your brother will rise again, instead of her believing that it was present tense, that he was saying, look, he's going to rise right now, she was already thinking in the future. I know my brother will rise again in the resurrection, God. I know he will. Because in her mind, the physical death, it was final. It was finality. There was no coming back from that. But what Jesus says next is, I am the resurrection and the life. Jesus told her, I am the resurrection and life. So you don't have to wait till the last day, is what he was trying to tell them. There's no waiting till the last day. I am the resurrection and the life. So Jesus called his name, and Lazarus came out of the tomb in his grave clothes. The women, even when they got to the tomb, and he said, take away the stone, Martha even said, Jesus, there's going to be an odor. It's decayed. The body is decayed. Because she still had that core belief that death is death. And it has the power. After the 4th day, death takes the power. But he said, did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? So they did what he asked of them, and they rolled the stone away. He called Lazarus' name, And Lazarus came out of the tomb bound in his grave clothes. And Jesus told him, "Take off the grave clothes and let him go." Jesus told them to remove the clothes, remove the death, the clothes that signified death. Remove that and let him go. It says, many who saw believed, and others plotted against him. But not only did Mary and Martha and Lazarus get to see the glory of God, but all the Jews that had come to visit the family and support them and help them grieve the death of their brother, all of the Jews got to see the glory of God. And it says, many of them who saw believed. And this is what I got out of it. Maybe we've fallen into our own sins. Or maybe we've fallen asleep. Maybe we feel like we're too far gone and that death is inevitable for us, that there's no coming back from it, that it's final, that it's already been our 4 days, that our soul cannot come back from this. Maybe we believe that our ultimate death, our death sentence, nothing can change that. And it's irrevocable. There's no coming back from where we are right now. And maybe you're at a place where you're angry with God, or you just bluntly tell him, God, if you had been here, I wouldn't be in this situation. If you had acted, this would not have happened in my life. Maybe we're already wrapped in our grave clothes and bound by our beliefs that we are not enough, that we will never be, that we are too far gone, or that our fate is already sealed in death. Maybe you already feel sealed in the tomb, just decaying and waiting for your soul to leave your body because you don't feel like God can save you, help you, restore you, or resurrect you. That you are bound in your grave clothes and that death is the only option for you. It's been too long. Death has set in. The stench of death and rotting in our lives. We've hit that 4-day mark and we're too far gone and it's over. I want you to read John 11, because we can feel all of those things and we can tell God, if you had just moved, God, if you had just been here, this wouldn't have happened, and now I'm dead, and now I can't get out of this, and I'm too far gone. I have nothing left. And God will say the same thing. God will say the same thing. You will rise again. He will remind you, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. With one call of our name, we are resurrected into life. God breathes into those dry bones and brings them back to life. He speaks over us and restores life inside of us. He overcame death, and we are overcomers through him. Everything, including death in the grave, is under his command. Death and the grave have no sting to us as believers. And just as he told them, take off the grave clothes and let him go, he's saying that to us now in our lives. Instead of, Lazarus, come out, you put your name there. Tiffany, come out. Step out of those grave clothes. Take off those grave clothes. Take off that death. He's commanding death. Get off of them. Let them go. You see, sometimes God allows things to happen. Jesus didn't go back until the 4th day because he knew their core belief. He knew if he went back prior to that and resurrected Lazarus, then there could be speculation that it was something other than God that resurrected Lazarus. But if he waited till the 4th day, because of their belief system, they believed that that was absolute. And maybe you have beliefs that you believe are absolute, and you look for anything that would support that false truth inside you. But God frees us from those absolutes. God frees us from those false truths that we believe our entire lives. Like, you're not enough. You will never be enough. You might as well quit. You might as well stop. It's all over for you. Why keep trying? Your fate is already set. But the thing is, he uses those things so that other people can see what he does in your life and the glory that comes out of your life will bring others to God. So maybe instead of thinking, this thing is just going to kill me, this is the end of me, I can't, this is the end. Maybe instead of thinking that way, think of it as, okay, God is positioning me to help me understand something new. God is positioning me so that the glory of God can be revealed in me to help someone else. I'm sure when Lazarus got sick that there was an urgency. His sisters wrote to Jesus saying, hey, Lazarus is sick, because they knew Jesus could help him. They knew if Jesus had been there, this would not have happened. So they wrote with urgency to Jesus, Lazarus is sick. We know you love him. you know? Jesus could have just whipped right back around and left right then and there as soon as he got that letter. But it wasn't God's timing. So the urgency we might see in the moment because of emotion, because of what's going on in our life, we may be the Martha and the Mary saying, God, I need you right now. God, you don't understand. You don't understand I'm dying. You don't understand how sick I am. You don't understand. I need you right now. I'm calling out to you right now. This is urgent. I need you to act right now. And Jesus is saying, this sickness will not end in death. No, it's for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it. Maybe our urgency, if God just reacted every time we thought something was urgent, how much of God's glory would we miss out on? So maybe when we find something that we feel is so urgent, maybe we could look at verse 4 and say to ourselves, God, this is going to end in your glory being revealed. This situation is for your glory. Nothing comes to my life without going through your hand first, God. So this is all part of your design and a part of your a plan to have your glory revealed through me in some way. And I thank you for it. I don't believe the lie. I don't believe that I'm too far gone. I don't believe that I'm set up just to die. I don't believe that death is more powerful than you. You are the resurrection and the life. I believe that you're going to shine your glory through my situation. I believe that you are calling my name right now so that I can come out of this, shed these grave clothes because you command death to let me go. I know it's not easy when you're going through the situation. It's not easy at all. We're like Martha and Mary. Hey, if you had been here, this wouldn't have happened. Why didn't you show up sooner? I prayed to you. I sent for you. Why did you not answer me when I sent for you, when I called to you? And all the while, Jesus is just, you're going to rise again. This is not death for you. This is to shine my glory through this situation. I'm calling you out by your name. I am in control. I am the resurrection and the life. And death has no power over me or you. By my glory, by my power, by my word, by me calling out, death has no power. And someone is going to see my glory through you and believe. God is using us. He is using us to shine His glory through this world. And sometimes that doesn't look like what we think it should look like. You know, this bright, shining star and the fuzzy feels. It doesn't look that way. It looks like death, the grave, finality, insurmountable odds, irrevocable situations. God takes us through what looks as final, what our belief systems cause us to honestly give our power over to something that is powerless. Mary, Martha, the Jews, they gave power, more power to the thought that after 4 days death is death, than believing that Jesus was going to do something right then and there instead of the last day. Don't wait till the last day. Don't believe that none of this is going to be better, going to get better, that this horrible, irrevocable situation, this belief that you have, the power that you're giving to your situation, give it back to God. Say, I know that none of this has power. The only one who has power and authority is you. So I give it to you, God. I give it to you, and I want to see what powerful thing you are going to do. I want to see how you're going to reverse the circumstance, or how you're going to show me the authority you have, how you're going to show me that you're the resurrection and the life. I hope that this has helped you. This really did help me when I read it, and I hope it just gives you a different perspective that God is doing a great work in you. Sometimes the great work does not look like we think it is going to. I told you many times, God's work normally looks like the very opposite of what we think it would look like. It's the treacherous roads, it's the storms, the crazy seas that you have to walk on. It's the things that we couldn't imagine that we could get through or overcome, just like death. It's the things that we give power to, or we believe have power, that we can't overcome it. But when in reality we are children of God, and we have the authority just as Christ did and does. We have the same authority through Christ. So be encouraged by that. And just ask God to open your understanding of what He's doing in your situation, and be joyful and expectant of the glory that He's going to shine through. Be looking for it. God, what are you doing? God, how are you going to shine through in this situation? How are you going to turn things around? How are you going to wow me this time? How am I going to be in awe this time? Let's change our perspective today. I love you guys. Have a good one.